Welcome to the Carolina Girls Podcast with Heather and Cher.
I'm Heather.
And I'm Cher.
And we're the Carolina Girls Podcast.
How are you today?
I am good. How are you?
I'm a little stressed, if I'm going to be honest, to be quite honest. I mean, we've had a crazy 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks since we've recorded, filmed, whatever we're doing. It's been a while.
It has been. It's been crazy, y'all. And I know everybody's life gets like this, especially around this time of year. We just have a lot going on. Cher, what you got going on?
Well, so I've got Xander graduating high school.
Whoop, whoop.
I've been in the hospital twice.
Yes.
Female issues.
Totally love those issues.
Yeah, absolutely.
But glad she's feeling better. Because she was feeling really crappy for a little while. I've
got a President's Club trip to Mexico.
What?
Yep. And then you've got Kaylee graduating. Oh, Xander's 18th birthday. I said graduating high school. He doesn't graduate till June. Right now it's his 18th birthday.
Right, but we feel like all of this is caving in on us at the moment.
Right. So May for me is crazy. So we have my father-in-law's birthday, May 5th.
Cinco de Mayo.
That's correct. We can never, ever forget his birthday.
We party on his birthday.
Absolutely. And then, so my dad, who's passed away, but his birthday is May 10th. Yes. Xander's birthday is May 16th. Mm-hmm. Your Casey's birthday is May 15th. My birthday is May 19th.
Yep.
My brother's is May 20th.
Mother's Day. Don't forget Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah, we have Mother's Day in there. And then my mother's birthday is May 21st. Whew. And don't we have another May? Oh, no. Now, I've got like my grandmother and a cousin, but...
No, there's just graduations.
But none of Luke and Shauna's kids are May. For some reason, I thought one of them was a May. Yeah, and then now we've got graduation college. Kaylee.
Kaylee's graduating college.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Which is so great.
I'm super excited for her.
And Xander graduating high school.
Yes, in June.
Yep.
You're going out.
I'm going to Germany.
You are.
In June. Taylor's coming home from Germany. She's going to be here for Xander's graduation.
That is right.
It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Just a lot going on.
What do you have going on?
So, with Kaylee's graduation, doing the brunch and all of that.
Right.
Trying to get that stuff together.
Craziness.
Then we have Casey's birthday. Want to make sure that she's loved.
You know, if she was just born 4 days later,
her name would have incorporated Aunt Cher.
Yeah, she would have been. I mean, she's already Aunt Cher's girl anyway.
She is. She is. She acts just like you.
I don't know if I should be offended, but it's true. So I guess
she can be rather stubborn. She can be rather stern. She can be rather direct.
You know what my favorite?
You.
That is me. You know what my favorite thing is about her, though? Is when she gets hangry. Oh, my goodness. I have never in my life seen a person in real life other than Casey who truly resembles the Snickers commercial of being hangry. Yeah. It's great.
Oh, and the girl loves sushi.
Oh, she loves sushi.
And we have sushi at the office probably twice a week.
Really? It's once a week?
Oh, no. Nope. Every time Cher's like, having a bad day, let's go get sushi. Having a bad day, let's go get sushi.
It could be worse. I could be having a bad day and let's get McDonald's.
I know. That happens too. That's on the other days.
That is on the other days. All right, so back Casey, birthday.
Yep, Casey birthday. And, getting ready for President's Club, all of that. And my dad's in the hospital, so dealing with that.
I think... I think with my dad, who is someone that has passed away, and your dad, who is someone that's battling dementia, I think the one thing that became apparently clear to you and I the last couple of weeks is making sure as adults we have our affairs in order.
Oh my gosh!
Like we have. Are you good to talk about this today?
Yeah.
Is that we don't make our children have to decide for us if we ever have like dementia or Alzheimer's, like your dad, who didn't give you any
a chance. Like
He didn't give you guys instructions.
Yeah.
Like, you have nothing, so you and your brother are having to make all the decisions, and
they're not easy decisions at all.
no, not at all. And I think so Heather and I we've truly, just call us the hospital gang. So I personally was in the emergency room twice. Mm-hmm. You took me one of those times.
Right.
Which, guys.
She said, you can just swing by, drop me off, and go back. And I'm like,
I would have been fine.
No. That's not the way the ride or die works. Okay.
Okay. It's absolutely true. And I wouldn't have dropped you off either, but that's just because I'm the caretaker. I don't do very well being taken care of. That is my personality trait. I mean, you think that's a true statement. Guess what? You're the same way.
I know.
So,
I know. But if there was going to be bad news delivered, knock on wood, hopefully that never happens.
Right.
But if there was bad news delivered, I didn't want you to be by yourself.
Which, I appreciate. But can we just talk about how... All right, you didn't get to go in with me immediately. I had to get into a room. Right. But can we just talk about how we show up in the emergency room
with our
backpacks?
Yeah, because we're still working.
Right, because both of us are still working. An extension cord and
making sure we have full electricity
and a surge protector with 12 plugs or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we're probably the only two people in the world that go to the emergency room that way, or the hospital in general that way.
Your whole backpack's got to go through security.
Yeah.
So, they're looking, and who knows? You should see my backpack. It's filled with God knows what. Like,
there's an old French fry in there.
I could have a pocket knife or something in there. I mean, who knows? I don't even know what's in there.
It was so funny. And then when we went to the hospital to be with your dad, we stepped out of line to get in so that people with emergencies could get through because we had our backpacks in to be searched.
Yeah, like somebody had something going on with their arm, like bleeding. And we were like, oh, no, go.
Oh, no, go in front of us, please.
But then my dad gets an adopted daughter that day.
Oh, that's hilarious. So I'm officially Charles Manning's daughter on record with the hospital. Yeah. Which is great. I was telling Eric about that last night. I'm like, dude, I could just go up to the hospital and sign in. I'm in there now. I'm his kid.
Yep. She is, of course.
Can we talk about how cute your dad was, though, when we were talking to him and you asked him if he wanted to take a nap again, and he was like, no.
No.
He's like, no, do not let me go back to sleep.
No. And that day, that was Tuesday, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So he was non-responsive and got the call, and I needed to get there. And so I was like, I'm leaving. And Cheryl was like, I'm coming with you. Yep. And I was like, dude, it's okay. She was like, no, you were just in the hospital with me yesterday. I'm coming with you.
Yeah, we packed it up and headed out. But I mean, so that's just it. When you go through a loss, or you go through an illness, or you go through so when my dad died, what did you do? My Chinese sister was coming in from China, and let me just say, my Chinese sister is exchange sister. She was an exchange student who lived with us for 5 years, and so I'm her American sister, and she's my Chinese sister, and she and her husband, who we had not met, and her 3 kids, the day Dad died, landed in Charlotte, coming to come and spend time with us. Yeah. And what did you do? You dropped what you were doing and went and picked her up at the hospital. I mean, at the airport. But that's what it's that's what family does.
I know.
Right?
I know. It's just, I mean, Cher was there when we had to make a really, really, really hard decision because my dad doesn't have his affairs together. No will, no nothing.
No medical power of attorney. No.
I have medical power of attorney for him.
Okay.
I do. I have financial and power of attorney.
Okay.
For him.
All right. But no medical record or like no medical instructions.
wants.
Yeah. Nothing was led.
Right. To determine how we do things. And I had to talk to the people at the hospital, and they had to tell me what all goes involved in a DNR.
Yeah. It was a pretty tough conversation.
You know, like I don't want that to. I don't want him to be hurt.
No,
in the process,
and you don't want your father to suffer.
Right.
You know, it's
a horrible thing.
It is. I mean, it's you know, I like to think that we are so young, but we're all getting older, right? So every day, every single person in the world is getting older.
Yeah.
And you know, in my head, I still think that you and I are in our 20s.
I know, I really do.
Like I'm not getting ready to be 50 years old. Like, so I'm going to turn 47 this year, but you know, in my head, I'm knocking on 50, but I'm not. In reality, I'm knocking on 50, but in my head, I'm not. And you don't think about that until you're in it.
Right. And then at that point, I think you're a little too late.
Yeah. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that what we went through that day was probably one of the hardest things you've had to do.
Yeah.
And,
it was.
And as your ride or die, it was really difficult, but nowhere near as difficult as your position. And I know that for a fact because I've been in your shoes, but it was really difficult to say to you all of the hard things that you needed to hear.
Yeah. Because the lady was telling me, you know, she was talking
nicely.
She was nice.
She was kind and gentle and caring, also caring. Like when she walked out of that room, quite honestly, every nurse and doctor that walked in and out of that room that day, I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that they cared about your father and they cared about you guys. Like it
was great.
Just mad props to Atrium Health and Concord.
Northeast.
Yeah, Northeast. The team taking care of your dad was pretty amazing.
Yeah. So he's still holding on.
Yeah.
I just want to let everybody know.
He's still nonverbal.
It sounds like, you know, he's already passed, but he is still hanging on.
He's still with us.
And my dad is a fighter. My dad is a veteran Marine. And
Hoorah.
And the nurse was saying, yeah, he was, you know, this was last week. But he's doing cowboy calls. And when I went in there, he's just like hooting and hollering, and that's just what Dad does. But he doesn't know what's going on at the moment. But
I think so he's been nonverbal for a couple of weeks now, meaning not able to carry on a full conversation. He's able to say some words and make some noises.
Yeah, like he can. I say, "Do you want some water?" And he's like, "Yeah." But not like as clear as that.
Yeah.
But you know, but you can tell when the light goes on.
You can see it in his eyes.
You can see it, and he's like when he was talking to you, you know, you said, "Do you want to see Derek?" That's my brother.
Face lit up.
Like he lit up.
Yeah.
And you could tell, like he was like, "Ooh, I think I know that person," and. You know, it's just an incredibly sad thing. But my brother and I do not want my dad to suffer through anything.
Right.
So.
Well, I mean,
that's what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, it's you know, when right before my dad had his heart attack, you know, a couple of weeks before Daddy had his heart attack, you remember I had to
drinking Russian tea. I remember.
Yeah. You remember I had to force him to go to the hospital. And I mean, that was a drop down, drag out fight, he and I in his house. Like when I tell you we got into a fight, I mean, we got into a fight. But my dad had given me power of attorney, and I mean, quite honestly, it signed pretty much everything over to me, and I had all decision-making process capabilities of everything. And I'm like, you're going to the hospital. And he's like, no, I'm not. And I'm like, yes, you are. And so, I mean, we were arguing like I was 10 years old again. And he was still very coherent, but,
Right.
And I had stormed into his office and I pulled out his folder with all of the information on it. And I brought it out and I slammed it down on the table. And I was like, that right there gives me control over you. And I'm taking you to the hospital. Do you want to take a shower before we leave or not? And now the reality is, it did not give me control over him. Like he could at any point get up and left that hospital.
Sure.
But I was that, and he was like, I'll go get in the shower. I'm not gonna fight at that point. But Dad didn't leave me any instructions in writing, but he had talked to me about everything, which is a little different from you, where you guys had not had that conversation with your dad yet.
Right. My dad's been in assisted living for quite some time.
It's been a long time now. It's been a long time.
14 years.
Yeah.
And it's just been a long, painful.
Yeah.
I mean, just watching him deteriorate. But it has deteriorated rapidly in the last year.
If anyone's listening to this, please go out and spend some time with doing the morbid thoughts and putting it all in writing. Yeah. Just go out and do that. Yeah.
It gives your children not having to make those hard decisions when you don't know, like, do we do this or do we not? How do we do this? It's not a fun conversation, and that was the hardest thing that we had to do. And I'm thankful that you were there. I really do appreciate you being there.
I wouldn't have wanted to be anywhere else. I'm glad I was there.
And but he's still with us, and
he's still fighting.
He is.
He's still fighting.
A fighter.
He is. He's so funny. So there's two other things that I think we need to talk about, because we've had, like, guys, when I tell you we have had nothing but craziness, we've had nothing but craziness. First of all, work is still great. Business is still great. Interest rates are rising, but that's okay. They're still historically low compared to, let's just say, 10 years, 12 years, 20 years ago. Yeah. You're still getting a great rate.
If you're comfortable with the payment, who cares what the rate is?
Right. I mean, that's true, because if you're paying rent, then you're paying 100%.
Right.
So we're still busy at work. So that's still going on, and that's great.
A+.
Yes. That's fantastic.
Oh, that's good.
On my front, you've just went through and experienced with us having 48 hours of my son's life being threatened on social media.
Yeah.
And we can talk about it now that it's over and we know that he's safe.
Yep.
But I think we should talk about it.
I think we should too.
Jackson's a social media influencer on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. And he got contacted via Instagram. Via Instagram. Over 200 plus messages.
It was on a Saturday. It started on a Saturday.
Saturday. It started the weekend of Easter. Then not only did they contact Jackson, they commented on my business page, our podcast page. They contacted Jackson's friend, Casey,
my daughter.
Your daughter. They contacted two other of Jackson's friends. Mm-hmm. Who he hasn't talked to in a couple of years, but still friends with, or still acquaintances of, I think we should say. But they doxed him, and so they made public our home address.
Showed a picture of their house on Instagram, all social media platforms.
Right. They put a picture of the school and put the address to the school. And listen, we live in North Carolina. It's a public record state. It's easy for you to find out where we live because I own my house. It's a Google search. It's easy. So technically, what they did wasn't, what that part of it was, they did was not against the law. However, he threatened my son's life multiple times. He threatened to shoot up the school. He also went out and said that he posted that Jackson threatened to blow up the school, which Jackson, of course, did not. And
got his TikTok banned.
Got his TikTok banned.
Is it still a ban?
So he got it back yesterday for less than 24 hours, and it got banned again. So we don't know what's going on. And TikTok is one of his major income earning platforms.
Right.
And he has over 429,000 followers on it. And now we're fighting to get that back. So what we did was we had to call the police. And I called the police immediately as soon as they threatened to. Well, as soon as they threatened his life, but
they were coming to his house.
Yeah, they threatened to come to our house and shoot it up. But they threatened to go to his school and shoot it up. And so I contacted the police immediately, and they were awesome. They were like, I called the non-emergency line, and they were like, no, you'll have an officer out there shortly. And I think he showed up 4 minutes later. That was great. And then I called the FBI through their cybersecurity and filed a report there. And then the Cabarrus County police officers were amazing. They were, the whole department, they contacted me back on Easter, actually. And they got the resource officer in school, and they were able to get all of the information from all the social media platforms quickly. And they were able to let us know, hey, you guys are safe.
Especially because the next week was going to be spring break.
Right. And that was really scary. Like, we had Easter at our home, and I have you guys over and friends and family, and, it's a crazy person who's still texting and messaging, even though we're blocking him. They reached out to Xander.
They were creating different users with Instagram
over and over,
just to continue to, because
harass.
We're all blocking them.
Yeah, just to continue to harass. And so they were able to assure us that you're safe. So that was the first and foremost. Okay, your son's safe. The school is safe. Nobody's in danger. All of that's good. I contacted a friend who has contacts at the FBI, and they were able to take it from here to get it really rolling. And they actually found the person who was doing this. A 14-year-old boy that is in another state. And they're not pressing charges, we would love to press charges, but we could press charges, but they have to decide if they're going to prosecute. They will not be, right, the state or the FBI.
Okay.
And he's 14. He would have to be prosecuted through the federal program, through FBI, federally as an adult. But there are certain criteria he would have had to met to be able to do that, and he doesn't meet those criteria.
Right. When those criteria, meaning he can't, doesn't have access to a gun.
He doesn't have access to firearms. He doesn't have access to even leave the state to get to us. There's all those things that go into it.
So he couldn't pursue. He couldn't
follow through with those threats.
Right.
But so my frustration was, okay, I get it. I'm safe. My son's safe. We're all safe. My problem is we spent 48 hours terrified of
absolutely terrified
what's going on, and
checking around, like who's behind me.
And so what the FBI agent that I spoke with, awesome person. He was so helpful. What he said was that until we everybody start really pushing for it to be some kind of legislation to be passed around cyberbullying and social media, both locally, through your state and federally, it's not going to change because there's really no laws out there that
to protect
protect the innocent and to prosecute.
Right.
So that it's one of the things that I really want to start talking about, and I would love for everyone to start talking about is, what's going on. And the other thing is they've seen a rise of this happening, the cyberbullying, the cyber stalking, the cyber threatening from ages 14 to 17 over the past few years. Well, so of course, as social media becomes more readily available, it's going to be easier to do.
Sure.
But you take into consideration that these kids have keyboard confidence. They are bored to tears. They've sat in their room with COVID, or in their homes, and all of that that's going on. And it's it's not a big deal to them, right? It's like, oh, this is funny. This is a joke.
I'm an attention seeker.
Right. I mean, and that's what the kid said. Like, he messaged Xander when he said, please tell your parents I'm not coming to shoot your house up. I was just joking. I was just seeking attention. And
no.
And I'm like, hail to the no. I'm coming to your house to whoop your tail, young man. Like, I'm bringing a paddle. But, you know, but the sad thing is, now this is a really sad thing, with speaking with the FBI, this kid he's got some issues. And because all of this happened, he's now getting help.
That's great.
And that's great because
just imagine him growing up and not getting help. He could
absolutely
those threats that he was doing.
Absolutely. So, you know,
anybody.
And what I told the FBI, I was like, listen, I'm not looking to put this kid under the jail. I'm really not. Right. What I am looking for though is, you know, where is there restitution to my son?
Yeah.
You know, my son has contracts that he's signed that he's got to deliver on that he can't. Right? Mm-hmm. Where is that? And yes, this is great that this kid gets help because we truly want that.
Right.
But you've just had something happen.
So, craziness the other day. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, with everything else that we have going on.
It's crazy.
So, I get a call. And, you know, I just recently went through all of my bills and everything. And
did you forget to pay some?
Okay, so there was this, I don't know what it is. It's a fire alarm bill. Fire alarm.
From the county.
Not from CPI, because I have my smoke, my fire, my alarm, whatever, through CPI. Well, with anyone in Cabarrus County, that's where we live, if they have an alarm system, they have to pay this $15 fee for it to be registered with Cabarrus County.
Okay, you got to register your alarm system. Okay. If it's monitored, right? Okay.
I could have swore I paid it. So, that same day...
You're going to collections, dude.
I was like, no. And I was like, this better not go on my credit. And she was like, oh, no, we can't do that. And I was like, God, thank you. Okay. Well, a little bit after that, I get a call from this lady. This lady, poor little lady, says...
Was she sweet?
She was all right. She was nice. I mean, but she was being a shyster. So she called me and said, hey, I'm calling you about your lab work. Okay? And a bill that you had from June 17th, 2019. Your blood, she kept saying my blood, was sent to Alliance Laboratory. I don't even know who Alliance Laboratory is. I get my blood work done at the doctor, and it goes through LabCorp, I believe.
It does go through LabCorp down here.
So, she goes, it was done on June 17th, and also, we haven't been able to collect on this debt because of COVID relief. There was a law, and she said we just lifted it, so now we're coming back to get you. And I was like, okay, well,
they're coming to get you.
That kind of sounds like that possibly could happen, but I'm like, dang, when did I have blood work done? But I can't remember back in 2019 what I was doing. I can't remember what I did last week. So I was like, all right, so tell me how much it is. She said $462.31. But if you pay it today, you can take off $162.31, making the total balance $300.
But if you pay it today,
I said, okay. And she was like, you're in what's called retention with us.
We're retaining you.
Yeah. And if you don't pay it today, then it'll go to a judgment. And I was like,
a judgment?
Oh my God. And I deal with credit for a living. I have to maintain a current credit score. So my heart starts pounding a little bit. Me, one that deals with credit, who is a little suspicious about this, but I was like, I just didn't pay my fire alarm thing.
You started questioning things.
So I was starting to say, oh my gosh, did I not pay this?
So
what happened?
Sidebar, the industry that we're in, we are required to maintain a license, and part of our requirements for our license is that we have good credit. That is a requirement. You can't, in the state of North Carolina, you cannot give out financial advice if you yourself do not handle your bills.
So I was like, what in the world? Like, I know what my credit score is. It's good.
So research went in. You started researching.
I said, ma'am, I'm going to have to call you back. I'm really going to have to call you back. And so she gave me her number. I hung up. I go and talk to Inspector Gadget.
Da-da-da-da, Inspector Gadget.
And I'm like, Cher, what the heck? I cannot believe this. Something's just not right. I can't believe it. So we call the place back. And what did we ask them? What state you were in? And they hung up.
Yep.
So, but wait. The number that she had called from, it was like an Arkansas number, I think.
Right, and you Googled it.
Alabama or something?
And it was associated with known spammers. Scammers. Sorry, not spammers. Scammers.
And so I was like, all right, well, that's my first problem. The whole number, I mean, there was multiple things on Google about it not being a good number. People saying that same thing, that they had lab work done, blah, 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 blah. Well, I get Cher on the phone, and Cher starts talking to this nice older woman.
She has no clue. Like, you and I both are talking at one point. She has no clue the change in the voice and the tone, and we sound nothing alike. Right. I mean, except we both have a Southern accent, and that's about it. Like,
but somebody did say that we look like sisters.
Remember? Yeah, the doctor. But we were wearing our masks, so we saw us from here. This part. It was the blonde hair. Because our eyes aren't even shaped alike, and I got these big blue eyes.
Yeah. So anyway,
that's because you're full of shit. That's why they're brown.
That's right.
Sorry.
So this lady starts saying, that I don't even know.
Well, I start challenging her on a lot of the things that she was saying,
and they were going back and forth, and she had a response for everything. Alliance was taken over through Quest Diagnostic, and I was like, Quest Diagnostic kind of sounds familiar, maybe.
And which is not true, by the way. We looked that up.
I know.
We asked to speak to her manager.
Oh, yeah. Now, get this. This is the funny part, because the manager gets you on the phone, and he's like, the bill is due, and kind of was like stern, and Cher was battling him, and... You go ahead.
I basically just said, dude, you're a jackass.
She said that.
Put the other girl back on the phone.
And you could hear him throw the phone. He was like, I'm going to push the button right now to put a judgment on your credit. And Cher looks at me, and she was like...
And like, you're a jackass. Put the other lady back on the phone or we're going to end the call. And so he puts her back on the phone. Yeah. But you could hear him throw the phone.
It was bad.
He got on the phone and started talking down and telling me, what we were and were not going to do. I mean, that's pretty much what he did. He got on the phone like he was my dad and he was going to tell me what to do. And I'm sorry, buddy, but you want something from me, not the other way around, right? It's that's not the way you treat your client.
Correct.
So, short story long. We battled with her, and she was very kind. It was totally bad cop, good cop. Yeah. Like, she never once lost her.
Cher was like, I cannot believe you work for that jackass. And this lady was laughing.
She was like, well, he takes really good care of us. I said,
I'm sure he does.
I said, well, he's in customer service, and that part sucks.
It was so bad. But it was awful. I said, ma'am, we need to do some further investigations, if whatever. And so we call Alliance Laboratories.
And then let me just say, Alliance Laboratories is in New York.
Right. North
Carolina is not airmailing your blood to New York for lab work ever. And Alliance does not have any affiliation with any labs down here.
I did not. I went to look at my chart, and I did not go to the doctor anytime in 2019 during that time.
So all of it was...
It all checked out.
We even went back and looked on your social media to see what was going on doing that. Like, we were doing everything we could. So you were able to call Alliance.
I did.
And you spoke with a really nice guy there.
Yep. And he said, ma'am, this is a scam. He's like, we get this call every single day that they have said. And he goes, let me ask. They said your dates of service was 2018 or 2019. And I said, yes, sir. He did. And he goes, that is not a viable debt. And I was like, oh my God.
And then the lady calls back.
Yeah. She calls back, and I was like, ma'am, I'm sorry, but this is absolutely a scam. And I never heard back from her again.
So the thing that we talked about, why we want to talk about this today, is to talk to your parents, y'all, because if these people called my mama, and was like, because medical billing in the United States is so convoluted, it's so awful. You get billed from here and here and here and here, and truly we should get billed at one place and then it all gets dispersed. But that's another thing for us to yell at Congress about, to change laws and locally and federally. But talk to your parents or talk to yourselves, talk to your spouses, talk to your friends. If you get a phone call from a collection company, number one, legally, they are required to notify you in writing. Number two, you are entitled to know who is collecting that debt. And number three, you can call the original creditor to confirm the debt. Period.
Yep. And they gave me a license number for the doctor. That didn't check out. We looked it up on the licensed North Carolina board. It was just all around not good. And if I can get my blood boiling and my heart pounding on it, I'm sure you could too.
Yeah. So coming out of COVID, when there were pauses on all kinds of things.
It all sounded right.
Oh, it was great. It was a great line. Listen, she sounds like the little lady sitting down the street. Like, she really did. Like, it was.
They had me.
She had me. Like, I'm right there with you, and I think everybody's lying all the time. Mm-hmm. Even though, it was awful.
It was terrible. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And yes, it was $462, but I could have lost $462 that day.
When she came back and offered you another discount, like
she was
the
like,
second,
I'll give you $315. I was like, just a little bit ago you said $300.
I could do the $300. Yes, I could do the $300.
I could pay the bill.
Yeah,
but what the heck? No, don't get scammed. Don't scam.
No. It's okay. It's okay to.
These people make money doing this. Like.
Well, you know what?
I
hate a thief, man. I hate a thief.
I can't stand it.
I hate a thief.
Can't stand it.
Dude, jeez.
All right.
We work hard for our money. So hard for it, honey. So hard for it, honey. You work hard for your money. So hard for it, honey.
We work very hard.
You work hard for your money.
These wrinkles?
So you better treat them right.
Yes. All right. So that's what we've been doing for the last 3 weeks. And
it's been crazy.
We apologize for not being up to date every week.
We know y'all missed us.
Yeah.
This is the total package right here. How could you not miss us?
That's right. So, all right. What's today's What Southerners Say?
Oh, it's a good one.
It's a good one.
Ask me a question. Just ask me a question. Like,
what you doing later?
Can you just hold your horses for a minute?
Hold your horses?
Hold your horses.
Like literally?
Literally, hold your horses.
How about that horse that won the dang race?
Hey, oh my gosh! Did y'all watch that?
Sorry.
Oh, all right, we'll come back to hold your horses in just a moment. But holy cow!
He came from like the back of the pack,
dude,
and just like bloop, 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 bloop.
Dude. And how about Bobby Flay getting his name pulled out right before Kentucky Derby? Did you see that?
No.
Oh, well, they were doing a little something. There at the Derby, and I guess they were pulling out names out of the hat who was going to win. Bobby Flay pulled out his name, and he was like, Rich Strike. It's whatever. It's not going to do anything. And he won!
80 to 1
Dude,
odds.
Just think about that.
Huge.
That's amazing. Okay,
there
sorry.
was something today that the horse isn't running in the Preakness, so like he can't do the Triple Crown.
Well, I tell you what, it's just hats off to them, and that's Kentucky Derby.
Did you see the horse the way that he was acting afterwards?
Yeah.
Like he was biting.
Yeah, dude was jacked. He was jacked on adrenaline.
He was trying to bite the other horse.
That's on my bucket list, by the way. Is
go to
Kentucky Derby just because I wanna dress up and wear a hat.
Wants a big old
I want a big old hat. I mean, I don't need to be in a dress. I can still wear jeans and t-shirt, but I gotta have a hat. No, that's funny. So, all right. So, what Southerners say? Hold your horses.
Hold your horses.
I say that all the time.
I say that.
Often.
That. Like, chill out, calm down.
Hold your horses. Yeah, just wait a second.
We'll get there.
Just wait a second.
Yep.
So, I guess that's what we've told our listeners, for them to just hold their horses and wait for us to have another podcast.
Hold your horses.
Oh,
We'll be back
goodness.
next week, though.
No, we won't.
Nope.
I'll be in Mexico.
So I've decided that I'm not going to go to President's Club. So go party without me.
I know. I wish you were going to be there, but
I know. She'll be celebrating her birthday while she's there. So everyone share the time of her life. Buy her a drink, okay?
A free drink.
Everybody at President's Club, share a drink for me, please, because I'll be at home.
Eric and I take turns drinking every other year at President's Club. Like, there's always one of us that doesn't drink a lot or doesn't have a drink often.
Right.
This year is my year to have a few.
I tend to overdo it. I normally don't drink a lot, and then when I go and get the free the President's Club drinks, it's a little much.
No, I'm looking forward to the volleyball, but it really sucks that you're not going to be there to play cornhole with me. But
please tell everybody that I love and I miss them, but I need to handle family affairs.
Yeah,
at home.
I understand. I would stay too, so I understand.
Yeah.
But so hold your horses means just wait a minute. Just chill out and wait a second.
Be patient.
Yeah, be patient.
Yep. So,
thank you guys for listening and for loving us and supporting our little fun thing here that we do. It means a lot to us. And this was a little longer than normal, but we really wanted to talk about what we've been going through.
Yeah.
Because we don't want any we want
you to know it's real life. This is like true stuff.
Yeah, we're as real as you get. Like, yeah.
Real deal.
Super real. Oh, by the way, 3 days is what I worked out this week. How'd you do?
So I did not go today.
Okay, but you've worked out 4?
Yeah, I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
That's what I'm saying.
Thursday.
That's my girl.
Yep. So trying to get back on track, trying to drink more water.
I'm sucking it, buddy. I got to get better, dude.
I haven't even cracked it up.
This is my first one today. I did have that big old cup of coffee though, just so we're on the same page.
Nope, I've not done anything. But I want to tell y'all, be sweet, be kind,
and be you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.